Greetings, everyone. We'll just give it a few more moments to allow everyone who is attending tonight to come into the room and take our seats, find ourselves in this virtual circle on this very special full moon. So once again, welcome everyone to this very, very, very special full moon meditation ceremony. We are delighted and moved and deeply blessed to be welcoming into our circle some very special friends from Colombia. I'm with Rasul Bravo, also in Colombia. And I'm just going to ask you, Rasul, do you want to be translating me into Spanish for this part of the call?
Sure, we can do that. Asdrubal, para que estén con nosotros, voy a comenzar a traducir desde este momento. En este momento, Cynthia acaba de compartir con la comunidad global que estamos en una llamada muy especial, por primera vez teniéndolos a ustedes, nuestros hermanos mayores de Colombia, como parte de esta llamada.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Estamos aquí para conectarnos físicamente, que desde muchos años, creo que desde el año 93, la comunidad global estaba conectado a través del Mamo Ramón Gil, que se trajo la olla sagrada, ¿no? Entonces ahora pues vamos a ir haciendo la realidad con el pueblo arhuaco, ¿no?
Excelente. Entonces vamos a continuar y yo te dejo saber cuándo es el momento para compartir palabra más profunda. Asdrubal shares that this connection began in 93 when the first Earth Treasure Vase went to Kogi territory to one of the mamos, one of the elders of their people, Ramon Gil.
Yes.
And that's we're now to connect.
Indeed, we have known each other for many moons. And now we are, thanks to this technology, able to connect all around the world in this amazing way. And during this particular full moon, it feels so powerful to be able to come together tonight, being the eclipse of the moon, and also here in the United States, our election is taking place. So I'm deeply grateful to have an opportunity to join together and focus our intentions on restoring balance and harmony in our world.
Es cierto, hace muchas lunas que se conocen, tú y Cynthia, y esta llamada es particularmente especial por la luna llena del día de hoy, al igual que es el día de elecciones en Estados Unidos, y es un momento muy auspicioso, muy importante para enfocar nuestra atención para restaurar el balance y la armonía en la Tierra.
Yeah. So this will be the first time tonight that we will be planting an Earth Treasure Vase virtually, calling on all of you who are here tonight to assist in this very unique opportunity. I don't know even what the words are, to bury this vase that Asdrubal has been stewarding And we will tell you more about exactly what that means and how it will unfold and what the whole story is in just a moment. But for now, I'd like to invoke the presence of the 106-year-old elder of the Earth Treasure Vase practice from Nepal, Charak Rinpoche, and call on his spiritual support for us tonight.
En este momento estamos invocando la presencia de uno de ellos que ha hecho esta práctica posible y que continúa siendo un maestro para Cynthia Jurs Rinpoche.
I also want to bring forward Lama Nawang Sultram Zangpo from Nepal, who is the Lama that crafted the Earth Treasure Vases for us and continues to serve as a guide for this community. Lama Sultram is regretful that he could not be with us in person tonight, but he is flying right now to New Zealand and will be there for the burial of another treasure vase in December. And he asked me to tell you that he sends his blessings and his support to the Arhuaco people and will be praying with us tonight on his flight. And he said for everyone to keep praying for world peace and the happiness of all beings.
En este momento también invocamos la presencia de Lama Nawang Sultram, que es el ser, el hombre que creó y consagró las primeras generaciones de las vasijas tesoros de la tierra. Él echa de menos la posibilidad de estar aquí con nosotros, pues en este momento está volando, está en un vuelo a Nueva Zelanda. Aún así está con nosotros en su corazón, envía oraciones de apoyo para ustedes, el pueblo Arhuaco, y nos invita a continuar orando por la paz y la felicidad de todos los seres.
So I'm now really honored, so deeply moved to formally introduce Asdrubal Torres and his parents from the Arhuaco in Colombia. We are so grateful to have you with us tonight and to have this opportunity to unite our shared prayers for Mother Earth. As I said, I've been inspired by the message of the elder brothers and sisters from the heart of the world since I first received these Earth Treasure Vases in 1990. And tonight is a really very special occasion. Asdrubal became an emissary for the Arhuaco in 2005 when he was chosen by the UN to study indigenous rights in Switzerland. 9 years ago, he began participating and helping to coordinate the Journeys for Peace and Dignity, which is a spiritual run done every 4 years, formed by a coalition of various native nations from Alaska to Argentina. And it's a vehicle for the realization of the eagle and the condor prophecy. So he is now mainly engaged in projects where the indigenous wisdom of his people is shared through the Arhuaco women's traditional weaving craft and the cultivation and processing of cacao offerings. Rasul, did you want to translate any of that?
Asdrubal, acabamos de presentarte a la comunidad, compartiendo del trabajo que has estado haciendo en los últimos años, en ir a Suecia a estudiar los derechos indígenas y el resto del trabajo que estás haciendo.
Yeah. So Asdrubal is joined tonight by his mother, whose name is Dionisia Torres. She is the mother of 12. She is a weaver in her tradition, and she is the keeper of the hearth, which Asdrubal has said is the firm power that sustains the home. He told us that she is the fire.
Ahora acabamos de presentar a Dionisia, tu madre, Asdrubal.
Yeah. And Asdrubal's father is a respected elder known as Wiari Maku. And he is a political leader and guiding elder of his people, the Arhuaco. He holds the order of natural law within the politics of his people.
Bienvenido, Diyari Maku, padre de Asdrubal. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros.
Yeah. I will call on Asdrubal and his parents to share some words with us in a moment. But first, I would like to also mention that we have two other people here who are playing a very important role tonight. One is my dear friend and elder, mentor, poet, author, visionary, Dina Metzger, who has been with me on this path since the beginning, and especially holding an interest in this connection to our friends in the heart of the world. And Dina will be opening the meditation ceremony by calling in spirit with her drum. So wonderful to have you with us, Dina. Also joining us tonight is member of the Earth Treasure Vase Stewardship Council and elder of the Gaia Mandala Sangha, Stephen Comey from Japan, who will be leading the guided meditation and this virtual burial. So I really want to especially thank you, Rasul, because you have done a really heroic service to all of us in this global healing mandala by connecting personally with Asdrubal in Colombia, receiving his story and coordinating efforts to bring him and his parents into our circle tonight. Rasul has contributed many hours to integrating the spiritual ways of the Arhuaco people into the ceremony that we will do tonight in collaboration with Stephen Comey. The two of them have crafted a very, very beautiful meditation for us that is different than what we normally do. Rasul, as you can see, will be translating throughout the call, which is another amazing service. And for this reason, if we go a little longer than normal, I hope you will offer your understanding. We are trying our hardest to stay within our time frame, but anything can happen. So thank you, Rasul, Stephen, Dina, and everyone for being here. So just to say that as part of the guided meditation that we're going to do tonight, there will be a pause in the midst of the meditation for us to make our offerings into the vase and to share our prayers briefly before it is planted. So this is different than what we normally do at the end of the call, open of the vase for the prayers and sharing. So this will take place in the middle of the meditation. So we ask you to please share, but do so briefly so that as many of us who want to can share. And it really is a chance for just prayers and offerings, but not long stories. The other thing that I'm going to speak to right now has to do with the invitation to bring a candle or the element of fire into the circle. I think I might mention this again in a minute, but just in case you would like to bring a candle forward, it's part of what we'll be doing together. It will help facilitate the ceremony. So for now, I would like to ask Rasul if you wouldn't mind sharing with us something about sort of the specialness of this moment, the sort of unique opportunity that we find ourselves in, and also something about Asdrubal's story, which some of you may have seen in our recent newsletter, which was so beautifully written by Rasul. And since she has been the one in Colombia to listen to Asdrubal's story, I thought it would be really appropriate for her to be the one to share this with you tonight. So, Rasul.
Thank you, Cynthia. Well, this is a first in the journey of the Earth Treasure Vase Mandala. We have never communally buried a vase virtually. This is a first in that regard. And it is particularly special because it is with the guidance of one of our elder brothers, one of the wisdom-keeping traditions on the face of Gaia, whose whole cosmology really emerges from a deep understanding of the power of thought, of awareness, in the process of being in a continual reciprocity with Gaia through the ritual making, through the ritual customs of offerings to Gaia. And so the guided meditation that we will share today to plant the vase together has been with the guidance of Asdrubal, incorporating the cosmology, the view of reality that the Arhuaco, as one of the 4 native tribes that come from La Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, the heart of the world, carry. And so that's to give a little bit of the context of what the planting will be like. It will be with their guidance. And so now I will try to succinctly share a very rich story, which begins in what is perceived to be the heart of the world, as the beings that live there know that place to be within the stories that have been shared for thousands of years. From the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. It is a coastal mountain region that rises from the Caribbean at the top of South America. Here you will find that there are 4 peoples that derive from the Tairona. It is a great civilization that is most generally known, if heard of, by their master craftsmanship of gold, which is actually one of their main offerings that they used to craft for the gods of the territory. It would be buried. And for their architecture, these are houses of thought where they hold council. And so this is where the Arhuaco come from, and is where Asdrubal comes from. They are some of the wisdom-keeping traditions on the face of the planet that are carrying the wisdom of how to be in correspondence with all of life. They, in 93 or so, they began to share messages to the rest of the world, sharing that calamities were soon to strike all of the earth because their territory is viewed as a microcosm of the entire earth. And they understand their responsibility on the face of Gaia as the keepers of balance, as I shared through these ritual offerings. The locations where they make these offerings, as well as their ways, have been under the threat of different forms of violence, whether that is a civil war that has raged on in Colombia, or colonization itself, or the drug war that has really affected both the continuation of their tradition and the protection of the places where they make these offerings. And so noticing that this was beginning to occur, and their elders, whom are called mamos and sagas, these are priests and priestesses, elemental mediums, you could say, that are in continual communication with the forces of nature, understanding how the land moves, how the energies are maintained in a certain balance. And so the elders were sharing long ago prophecies of a time where degeneration was going to strike. And so Asdrubal, around the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, he received the call to be an emissary of sorts for the Arhuaco people. As shared, he was selected by the United Nations to learn indigenous rights. And this paved the way for him to begin to share this wisdom of being in communication by really caring for life in the most simple ways to the most nuanced and subtle ways that really only they know how to entirely do, and yet are inviting us now to be in communication with Gaia, understanding that it is the thought behind our offerings and our actions that will truly bring us to our next evolutionary step. And so as Asdrubal receives the call to be an emissary, he hears of the Earth Treasure Vase Mandala, and he himself becomes a bridge, a cultural bridge, to the first planting of an Earth Treasure Vase in the land of Colombia. After completing this planting and feeling the power of the Earth Treasure Vase Mandala, he feels that it would be a beautiful strengthening of spiritual alliances and a continuation of unification to carry a vase back to the land of the Arhuaco. So in October 2018, he flies to New Mexico to meet with, to Arizona, to New Mexico, to New Mexico to meet with Cynthia and receive the Earth Treasure Vase that he was soon to bring back to his people. He returns to La Sierra Nevada, and it's a time of harvest. He is patient during that first reception of himself along with the vase, and he enters a process of waiting for his elders to give him instructions on how to proceed. In the meantime, Amamo arrives to do a purification rite, which in essence is an energetic maintenance of the natural order of the vase for it to do its work when it was set out to do so with the instructions of his elders. During that waiting process, the pandemic strikes, And as the pandemic began to emerge and affect the Arhuaco people, political turmoil also began to affect them, as the interest of the government to procure land began to affect the self-governance of the Arhuaco people, creating polarization amongst them. Asdrubal, as Cynthia earlier shared, is both an emissary and a lore keeper himself, as well as his father. And in the midst of this political polarization amongst his people, he became a political target. And in the spring of 2020, his home was ransacked violently by other Arhuacos that wanted to assert their position. Asdrubal and his family had to flee their home with just what was on their backs, and the earth treasure vase had to be left behind at that time. They were able to return to their home to get their home back. Along with the support of their family, they found that the vase was no longer there. And so Asdrubal shared this story with me as an emissary of the Sangha earlier this year, and we sat in the listening to the process along with the Stewardship Council. And Asdrubal at the time shared that he received great support, both from the Stewardship Council and for the Mandala, as well as from his elders, to really move through a process of shock and unprecedented loss that had been both losing his home, his ability to return to his land in a safe way, and the earth treasure vase. And through that time of listening and really assimilating those news, which was a shock to all of us, we began to receive a call. An understanding began to come through that regardless of where the vase was, we knew that it was in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. We knew that it was in the heart of the world. We knew that wherever it was, because the contents, the unbroken lineage, and the intention was so pure, the power of the vase had not been severed. And then I can't quite recall where the call came through, but it was a clear invitation to do this virtual planting of the vase. And Asdrubal at the time said that it was uncanny in a way, because it was as if the elders of his people had whispered these instructions into our ears. And so the dedication of the vase is for unity, for the restoration of oneness in the Arhuaco territory, stemming outwards as that microcosm reflects the entirety of Gaia, to bring a strengthening of spiritual alliances amongst all people, which is what brings us here to this moment, to come together, bringing our awareness to plant the vase together.
Thank you, Rasul. This, I also hope and pray, will be a way to bring healing to Asdrubal, particularly because of the hardship that he has gone through, and in this tragic story, and healing to all of his people and the lands, and among the Arhuaco people that are activities here tonight, our prayers and the virtual burial of this vase may serve that purpose as well.
Cynthia comparte la intención que esta vasija traiga sanación y restauración tanto para ti, Asdrubal, y tu familia, tanto para el pueblo Arhuaco y más allá.
Yeah. So as far as I understand it, Asdrubal and his family, many of whom are here tonight, remain refugees. They are still unable to safely return to their homeland because of the ongoing conflicts there. And he has had to go through a process of hiring lawyers to represent him in order to regain ownership of his land. So he went through a period of, I think we might say, depression and sorrow and uncertainty about how to go forward. This was a really challenging situation because he cares so much about the land and about his people and about them having their own lands. So he did come forward through Rasul in a very humble way to request that we might consider helping support him in the lawyer fees that he has accrued, totaling about $1,500. So we're hoping that everyone here might consider contributing to that. Any amount will be so meaningful, and he will joyfully and gratefully send everyone who does contribute some of his ceremonial cacao that he has been making in the last number of years, which I have tasted and is extraordinarily delicious and special. So Rasul is going to put a link to donate into the chat box, and really want to encourage you in this moment or afterwards to help us meet that need. I think it's, in a way, the least we can do to offer our care and support to Asdrubal for what he has gone through and what he is continuing to go through. So with that, I would like to invite you, Asdrubal, and your parents to share a few words with us and to offer your prayers for the Earth Treasure Vase, which we are all together dedicating to bringing healing and protection to your land and to the whole Earth. So please share with us for a few moments, Asdrubal and your father and your mother, if you would wish.
Asdrubal, en este momento Cynthia te extiende una invitación para compartir tu palabra, reconociendo que nuestro propósito es estar aquí con ustedes y en la intención de que la vasija traiga sanación y protección tanto al pueblo arhuaco, tanto como para toda la tierra.
Gracias. Entonces, ¿me toca hablar o...?
Sí, Asdrubal, a ti y a tu padre y a tu madre, lo que sientan compartir por unos momentos. Tenemos espacio.
Bueno, entonces voy a tratar de ubicarlo bien, sintonizar bien. Ahora estoy aquí con mis padres. De pronto la edad, el tiempo también trae dificultad físicamente, ¿no? Entonces, por eso están mis padres acá acompañándome, porque necesita también estar ayuda, digamos, de salud, ¿no? Entonces he estado atendiendo, por eso están acá. Pero al mismo tiempo, pues, cumpliendo con esta misión de con la olla sagrada, ¿no? Entonces,
Seems maybe Asdrubal's connection is a little bit challenged.
It seems to be so, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to translate what he said and give it a minute, Rasul?
Sure. Sure, Asdrubal was sharing that he's there accompanied by his parents who, because of age and time, are challenged through their health, and so that he is both accompanying them, accompanying him in the fulfillment of the vows.
hola.
Ya te vemos y te escuchamos.
Bueno, estaba diciendo de que está mis padres acá también sanándose conmigo, ¿no? Físicamente ha tenido algunas dificultades de salud, quizá por la edad o hoy en día el tiempo pues, también ya trae otros, acompañado a la vida trae otras situaciones, ¿no? Entonces, ellos no están tan bien, pero está bien al mismo tiempo. Yo le voy a, decía que le iba a traducir un poquito a mis padres, ¿no? ¿Cómo vamos? Ande iba de, me ingitiga kanama, pues patadi karende. Mamá sería, abone mi cosa, nanan cuando lluero. Wana aku nandai mak mia sajen kawase andai mase isan wer janat we kendo krigang pare andai ma jwer ran we kanna izare andai me kazari kangwan nari buni kuman zandu sizung ei mare ani jat kumazung nanti we ki krigan de ei mare giri kirimi kizat kaman yama ki izat kumawani ya
a good time, and it was gone. You took it out.
Go ahead.
de name zang andi wari ma anwe jwer ni karen am ses kwanika ande anwe sine masiwa me zam do nan ti mare gugiengo ni kampanan dande minisi ni kamre wazo jananti ande e manami iwa ti mana bare yakwa zari kwa ge dwing yan ge chonugame ande nanande fa apchi kampuni makai kre nanande jabatare doa ni dua zanang bagi nak zari lima bare ampes kya ba kanam sampari joan de jeme junji kare kachpai nan konan. Bueno, ya sintonicé, entonces ahora quizá mi mamá va a saludar o cualquier cosa que se sienta.
Excelente. Todo
What say ye gan gese some kasi gan very una gunandi zanika gandia zariga sana gunanandi wana agunanandi and very he but say I will do an Alguera di kasawi. Biar kena nanti. Ikan taka untuk anak. Bizarre zan emri. Ini wani je ili. Ini dia orang bizarre zan. Sedang kuasa not konten bizarre zan ia not lebih.
Bueno, mi mamá como lugar, el lugar de mujer, y también como energía, ¿no? Dice que respondiendo un poquito, entregando palabra a Cynthia, ¿no? Como mujer se ha hecho cargo de llevar este mensaje a través de la olla sagrada para que esta misión se dé, esta conexión de espíritu de paz, espíritu de levantar. Entonces, así va a ser, como vino con este espíritu, pues así vas a ser. Entonces, en este momento, pues hay que pensar es que a levantar ese espíritu, como vino con ese espíritu de sembrar allí, pues quizá no está como corresponde, pero ahora pues hay que activar, hay que levantar ese espíritu como se trajeron con el mismo misión y de la misma manera pues que el creador Serampa sea el testigo de todo lo que estamos haciendo en este momento. Ese lo que con ese mensaje es que se conecta a ella.
Muchas gracias, Asdrubal. Asdrubal's mother, Dionisia, brings word of woman, a word from the energy of woman, particularly to you, Cynthia. She shares that you have taken on this commitment with the bosses to bring peace, to bring unity, and that although it is not in the common or ideal way to fulfill this mission, the mission can still be fulfilled by the raising of the spirit to make it so, as that is our intention. And she also calls on Creator, Serankwa, to be a witness to what we will be doing this evening. Gracias, Asdrubal. Gracias, Duni.
Đây mà giờ xin get tay cho giặc cổ.
Mà giặc cái khơi mẹ đây, giặc cái chân này.
Ya bande. Iwa katakan rằng gak klamo inoksi nat panana ba de aje kabi con samana ba de con sam katagari zakobor nekam zaknogani auganan ni gonti nosi anu benari no paso ya pananangwari pak ni do yanani aje no ganan Ivari anak chon pak bak zoni nenanan ki sige chona kewa bani wingwana kinan nanne anu bejuna nanani kari vinatasi vindet noksi nanamne jumam nanani kari kibi yemi kak gamsebi Faizori nananaika. Nah, ya gua kan. Ibere majuer wasuk mende. Ina nenang. Juer se gunki. Awasya bori nak panane ya gua kan. manga kram kle jan
Nggak kerjanya.
ande
Ah.
Jurs.
Nah, de King, voy a traducir la primera parte, como ahora vas a hablar un poquito de la olla específicamente, entonces antes de comenzar, pues él comienza diciendo de que primera vez que estamos escuchando, o para él, pues primera vez que estoy escuchando esta manera de comunicar con la olla, primera vez que estoy escuchando. Y también, de acuerdo a la tradición nuestras antigua, dicen que todo se dio a partir de una madre principal que se llama Zaku Bornekan, madre de todo, ¿no? Entonces, desde allí dio inicio de todas las tradiciones que existen en la humanidad y mucho pensamos de que ya el fin del mundo está aquí, pero muchos sabemos de que a través de conexión, esfuerzo de seguir haciendo posible la humanidad, pues es la manera en que buscándonos unos a los otros, vamos encontrándonos y seguir haciendo posible la continuidad de la vida. Entonces, es la manera que entiende cómo se han dejado esta tradición desde un inicio. Entonces, aquí físicamente pues, se está dando esta manera de ayudarnos, ¿no? Entonces, todo, según la tradición nuestra, todo se da a partir de una olla sagrada. Entonces, va a hablar sobre la olla sagrada. Hasta ahí.
Asdrubal's father, Priyanathan, shares that this is one of the first times that he hears of the power of the boss, our capacity to communicate and catalyze healing in this way with the boss. And that according to their ancient tradition, all comes from Great Mother, whom they call Saku Gabuta. And many at these times think that it is the end of the world. And yet he shares with us that it is through the effort of finding one another and coming together that we allow for the continuation of life. He refers back to the way that all comes from the Great Mother, because part of that story actually includes a vase, and he's going to share with us about that vase. Listo, Asdrubal, si quieres continuar, estás en mute todavía.
Thôi andi Jero nana nika kewu anu benari Joy Lizanaki with Anika Zoya Vanganani Kari anu bekewu Morina Campanani Afganan yes at least Amy Kari and Suzanisi Iva Tina Uma Nive Zangan Chavani Vinganani Kari Nivina Nana Bari Jer Kaiva Bore Miran Beda Vasina Campanani Amy Karidi Siman Kaivu Agawat Nani Afghan Jer Set Kanat Amy Karidi Oro Kaivu Amy Katlam Set Nana Jer Set Kanadi Avasina Campanani Iva Amy Karidi Jejuna Nananik Je Name. Dividere aja. Sangang kanari aja kaniri nguanari. Cukmanang kalanana. Nak makau gak kenamari. Mai weti gak knusi. Cuk mayunari diban kali. Si kak chung si aja papera kanari cukmanana. Sangang kanari. Jadi minggu ada sang air nan, kamu dan ada ikan nang, di mana kuat ni apa? Nana nugiak kegung, enggak kenal bernalang. Serang pasal itu sudah ngasuh nani. Kakak morpai kezak nugar sekretari nade mari lei kenari weti, di gajuna kuizi nugar nade. Yoi masuk paperi hubungan. Erau banana kagung. Siku anu beri. Ang kalek wesenusi bulanandi. Jumamri. Ang taknusi zana. Eki di jumamri. Paiznak bak zanamit nargan. Nak zaru zak nirok penuk.
Bueno, refiriéndose sobre la interpretación sobre la olla sagrada, ¿no? Según la tradición nuestra, dice que todo empezó en pensamiento. Todo empezó a venir en pensamiento, digamos, o la semilla de la humanidad. Asimismo, a medida que se iba avanzando, se fue apareciendo en la olla de barro, ese espíritu de semilla de la humanidad. Entonces, desde la olla de barro fueron materializados como lo que es la tuma, que representa como el ser. Una vez que se materializa la tuma, se materializaron oros. Una vez que se materializaron el oro, ahí también se materializó el agua. Entonces, esa es la manera en que las cosas se han venido desde un principio. Y desde ahí, cada uno fueron distribuidos en el mundo con sus propias leyes, códigos. Entonces, en eso entra a jugar un papel importante Serancua. Serancua quien da, digamos, toda la estructura de la humanidad. Entonces, ahí entra otros espíritus que acompaña es Cacamorcuica. Y Cacamorcuica era el secretario quien hizo la ley, cómo comportarse de acuerdo a la forma de vida de cada humanidad. Entonces, es la manera en que se cuenta el pueblo arhuacos. Entonces, le dieron toda la forma de comunicarnos, la lengua, la tradición a cada uno. Entonces, así es que nos dejaron y hasta el día de hoy era para poder comunicar la forma como nos fueron dando. Y entonces, aquí terrenalmente, pues estamos aquí con esa voluntad de unirnos espiritualmente y seguir creando luz, bienestar. Entonces, seguramente es porque la necesidad del espíritu, del tiempo mismo, porque se ha convocado y así va a ser. Eso es lo que estoy pensando o entendiendo, o como esta es algo que viene de mucha profundidad, entonces piensa que aún es el tiempo de continuar la vida de la humanidad, ¿no? Eso es lo que estoy entendiendo a partir de esta olla sagrada. Eso es lo que dice.
Asdrubal continues to share. I'm hearing a feedback and it's taken care of. Okay. And so he shares that according to Arhuaco tradition, according to their cosmology, all began as thought. The seed of humanity began as thought. And as development continued and the spirit of humanity began to manifest as form, it appeared as a clay vase. As that development continued, materializing itself, a form appeared as a hollow crystal bead within that vase that was then further materialized as water. So it was the clay vase filled with water with a hollow crystal bead. At this moment, people, as this manifestation, were spread throughout the face of Gaia, carrying different lores depending to their territory. Serankwa, the creator being, was overseeing it all. Then another being from the origin of their stories, Kaku Maikwame, a being who organized the different ways, bestowed a certain order to the Arhuaco to create light and to add wellness to all of creation. And it is my understanding, as Rubal Father shares, that this is what we are doing today. We are going to add light and wellness to all of humanity, as that is what we will do for the continuation of life. Tuni.
Ya me da cuenta. Bueno, de parte de mis padres, pues esa es la manera de compartir con todos ustedes y aquí está por continuar escuchando, ¿no?
Gracias, Asdrubal. Asdrubal shares that this is the way that his parents tuned to our common intention this evening. Ahora es tu turno.
Sí. Bueno, primero que todo, dale buenas noches a todos, familias, hermanos, hermanas de este continente. Le llama Abya Yala, ¿no? Este continente es en lenguas indígenas. Me imagino que también hay hermanos y hermanas de África, hermanos y hermanas de la Europa. También darle saludo a los hermanos y hermanas de Asia, a los hermanos y hermanas de Australia. Si no están, pues extender esta energía en este tiempo, ¿no? Manifestaré que estoy contento, ¿no? Me ha llenado de alegría en el corazón por ponerme atención tan importantes de la comunidad global y que quisiéramos enviar energías importantes y conectar desde la Sierra Nevada. Mi papá cuando terminó pues estaba contando, ¿no? Pues, que la misión nuestra es cuidar la energía, esa es la responsabilidad, ¿no? Entonces, si se ha creado necesidad de estar conectado, pues porque nos vamos a ayudar, ¿no? Porque así se han dejado desde un principio de seguir hermanando y ayudarnos espiritualmente desde cualquier parte del mundo. Entonces, para mí pues, es muy importante que nos haya visto a mis padres, a mi mamá, a mi papá, a mis familias acá, que sepa que acá estamos al norte de la Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. En lengua nuestra se llama Nibiumki. Y nosotros pues venimos de un lugar que se llama Gungarubu, pero la entraña pues es Nausimaque, el lugar donde fuimos nacidos espiritualmente y físicamente, donde echó primer semilla Arhuaco. Entonces, ahora pues hay algo de situaciones, pero vamos superando, quizá con esta energía que estamos elevando a través de la olla sagrada, vas a ayudar. Hay que poner mucha fe, mucha intención de esta siembra que se está dando a nuestra manera de levantar, conectar y pedir todos esos deseos de que se restablezca esta sanación, sanación de paz, de armonía, de entendimientos, y también pedir mucho por los animales, ¿no? Animales que cantan. El canto es muy importante, entonces debe de existir los cantos de animales, de los pájaros. Es la manera en que consagran a la madre, al padre creador, ¿no? Reconoce su grandeza, el respeto hacia las creaciones. Entonces, así pues, voy dejando mis palabras aquí en este pequeñas ceremonias global, en esta luna llenas, a través de nosotros, pues, extender esta energía y pensar de que ahora pues ya se ha reactivado y que van a ayudar a toda la oscuridad que se ha llegado en el territorio. Me imagino que a través de Rasul, Cynthia, ya se ha sabido, ¿no?, que ha llegado una oscuridad y que estamos en transición. Entonces, con esta palabra que acabamos de sembrar, pues vas a amanecer y venir la armonía y la paz que tanto estamos necesitando. Hasta ahí dejo mi palabra. Duni.
Y cuando así sea, palabra que estaba diciendo, así sea, delante.
Bueno, mi mamá confirma desde su palabra, pues así será.
Asdrubal shares that it is his great joy to be here with all of us. He shares his greeting. He says good evening to the family, to the brothers and sisters from the continent of Abya Yala. This is one of the other ways that South America is described. He sent his greetings to Africa, to Europe, to Asia, to Australia, and beyond, saying that even if the beings from these places are not present, with his word he extends his energy, their energy to them. He is very content and filled with happiness in his heart and grateful for your attention in focusing to fulfill the intention of the burying of the vase. He says, our mission is to care for the energy from La Sierra. And if things have aligned just so that we are here together at this time in this call, is because together we are here to take care. It feels very important to him to be with his mother and father in this call. He points back to where they come from. Nibiumake, Gaumaru, and Nabusimake, as the spiritual and physical place where the first Arhuaco seed of humanity rose and manifested. There is an understanding that we are coming together to overcome challenging forces by elevating our energy at this time, by allowing us to cultivate in this moment a clear faith that our intention will be fulfilled as we fulfill this planting in their ways, he shares through thought. We come together to raise our unity and connect, to bring restorative healing, peace, and understanding. He also shares a prayer for all animals, and in particular those who sing, for the feathered ones that express their devotion for Gaia, for father and mother living in all, through song. And with this, he acknowledges that we are at a time of transition, that there are great forces of opposition, of a certain darkness. And yet, through what we are doing, peace and healing will dawn. And his mother closes by saying, it will be so, it will be so. Muchas gracias, Asdrubal, Dionisia, Duyarimaku. Infinita gratitud, Duni.
Igualmente.
Thank you so very, very much, Asdrubal. Asdrubal's mother, father. We are, and I am deeply moved by hearing your words. So grateful for this time to come together. What you have shared is so meaningful to me and to all of us in this global healing community who have been carrying sacred vases filled with prayers and offerings all around the planet for over 30 years, planting them in places where healing and protection is called for. The meditation that we have done, it strikes me tonight hearing you how intimately connected we have been with your spiritual teachings without even knowing it. Because we focus on sending light around the planet, the light that carries our love, the light that travels through all the energies of the earth to bring human beings together, to bring healing, to restore balance in the world. And when you mentioned the songbirds, I started to cry. So I thank you again for being with us. And I would like for us to move now into the actual meditation. Maybe you'd like to translate that a little bit, Rasul. Rasul, was there anything there to translate, or shall we just continue? Oh, maybe we lost her now. So in that way, I guess we will continue with our program. I'm just waiting for Rasul to see if she might return to us. These things happen. So I guess I will say this in preparation now for our actual meditation and ceremony, that according to the teachings of the Arhuaco and the peoples of the Sierra and the heart of the world, that forming a connection to the element of fire is an important way to bring our hearts and minds into focus, and to allow the fire to open a doorway that can help us to fulfill our ceremonial purpose. And I'm just going to pause for a second to ask Nicole if you would mind muting Asdrubal now. Getting a little feedback. Yeah, so the fire element, Father Fire, as the Arhuaco refer to that element, is the father of all of the elements, and can be seen as a portal to engage the threads of the Arhuaco treasure vase with where it will be planted. So that's why we have been invited to bring a candle or to light a fire for the ceremony. And if you have that with you, just to light it now. So I have many candles lit on my altar, but I'm going to light this one here, and hope that you will also join me in lighting a little fire. And we had planned for Rasul to share her screen, but I think we have lost her now. I'm actually sorry to do this, but I just want to send her a note, see if I can get her back, because she was going to translate the meditation. Rasul had an image that she was going to put up by sharing her screen of the location where the vase is to go. And so if she returns, we might invite her to share that when she does. And Stephen Comey, you can help accomplish that if we are in the midst of the meditation when that happens. So here she is. Okay, good. We feel our way with this technology, and we welcome you back from the ethers, Rasul, wherever you are. So grateful for your translation, your presence. Oh, she was here for a minute, but now she doesn't seem to be here.
Can you hear me?
There you are, yes. Thank you. Yes. Welcome back.
Thanks. There was a lightning right when you mentioned the sending of light. That sort of shut me down a moment.
The elemental energies are operating. So I did, while you were gone, invite people to bring forward their candles and to light them. So I don't know if there was anything that you would like to share with Asdrubal and his family before we go into the meditation, but that's what we will be doing now. And if you are ready to share your screen, the image of the location, that is also invited. And maybe we'll wait to share the screen until after Dina has called in the spirit. Is there anything you'd like to say or do before we go on, Rasul?
Yes, I would like to let Asdrubal know that now we are beginning the meditation and give a brief, let you know what the screen share is, briefly.
Okay.
Asdrubal, ahora vamos a traer nuestra concentración para hacer la meditación y sembrar la vasija, comenzando por Dina abriendo el espacio. También estaré compartiendo las imágenes de Nabusimake para localizar nuestra atención, donde vamos a sembrar la vasija. The images that will be shared in a moment are images of Nabusimake, and this is the birthplace of the Arhuaco people. This is the both capital, spiritual center, and political self-governing center, where we are bringing our awareness to the boss.
All right. If we're ready, then perhaps we could start with a bell from you, Stephen, and then go into your calling of the spirit, Dina, and then we'll turn it back over to you, Stephen, to guide us into the meditation.
Great Spirit, great heart of the universe, great mystery Wakantanka, awesome presence, Hamakom, Pachamama, Aluna, Creator, elders, ancestors, future beings, thank you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for everything you give us, and you give us everything. Thank you for gathering us today in this way. Thank you for this act of thought and imagination might be the same act as in the beginning, and might restore and preserve and protect this blessed earth and all her beings. Oh.
This meditation was designed with the guidance of Asdrubal as an emissary of the Arhuaco.
Esta meditación fue diseñada con la guianza de Asdrubal como un emisario de los arhuacos,
incorporating their view of reality and their ritual customs in extending offerings to Mother Earth, Senekon,
incorporando la percepción de la realidad y sus costumbres rituales al extender ofrendas a la Madre Tierra, Senecan.
let us arrive in this auspicious moment, settling our minds and bodies so that we might prepare for our journey.
Lleguemos a este auspicioso momento, descansando nuestras mentes, cuerpos, para poder prepararnos a este viaje.
Breathing in and out, and breathing in and breathing out, continuing to relax into this moment.
Inhalando y exhalando. E inhalando y exhalando. Continuando a llegar a este momento.
With each breath, allowing all thoughts of yesterday and tomorrow to dissolve.
Con cada respiración, dejando que todos los pensamientos del ayer y del mañana se disuelvan.
We now invite you to light your candle if you have not done so, or to bring your attention to the fire that you have prepared for this ceremony.
Ahora les invitamos a encender la vela que han traído o a traer su atención al fuego que han preparado para esta ceremonia,
As a way of invoking and connecting with fire, to engage the threads connecting us to the Arhuaco Earth Treasure Vase and its location.
como una manera de invocar y conectar al fuego para enlazar las hebras conectándonos a la vasija tesoro de la tierra, Arhuaca, y su locación.
We acknowledge this vase's journey and that of its steward, Asdrubal, the aspirations for healing and unification, and the story of division and unprecedented loss.
Reconocemos el camino de esta vasija y de su guardián Asdrubal, las aspiraciones para sanación y unificación, y la historia de división y pérdida,
which now guides us to the profound source of power in the unseen, where we find our ground for planting of the Arhuaco Vase within our collective luminous awareness.
que ahora nos guía a la profunda fuente de poder en lo invisible, donde encontramos el suelo para plantar la vasija Arhuaca dentro de nuestra atención colectiva luminosa.
Together, we direct our attention to the heart of the world, the snow-capped majesty of the mountains known as la Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta.
Juntos traemos nuestra atención al corazón del mundo, a la majestuosa montaña, cierros de nieve de la Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta,
within which is nestled Nabusimake, the birthplace of the sun, the navel of the world, and the origin of the Arhuaco people within their cosmology.
dentro del cual se encuentra Nabusimake, el nacimiento del sol, el ombligo del mundo y el origen de la gente Arhuaca dentro de su cosmología.
A place sanctified by the sowing of the placentas of the Arhuacos, imbued with a way of living guided by the law of origin, a belonging to all of life, embodied in care and reciprocity.
Un lugar santificado por la siembra de las placentas arhuacas, imprimida con una manera de vivir guiada por la ley de origen, un corresponder a toda la vida, encarnada en un cuidado y una reciprocidad.
We arrive here at dawn, with the rays of the sun just peeking over the horizon, walking on cobblestone paths surrounded by white earthen buildings.
Llegamos aquí justo mientras los rayos del sol comienzan a salir desde el horizonte. Caminamos por caminos de piedras. Alrededor de nosotros se encuentran bohíos blancos.
Mountains are looming around this sacred site. The scent of fires being tended within the hearths fills the air.
Las montañas están todo alrededor de nosotros, alrededor de este sitio sagrado. El olor de los fuegos que están siendo cuidados en el centro de los hogares llena el aire.
The sounds of an ancient tongue meet our ears. A silence and peace permeates the environment subtly yet profoundly, bringing ease and a sense of settling within us.
Los sonidos de una lengua antigua encuentran nuestros oídos. Un silencio y una paz permea el ambiente sutilmente y profundamente, trayendo relajación y un sentir de que estamos llegando dentro de nosotros.
It is as if we have gone back in time. In our own way, we greet the spirit of the land, its keepers and ancestors.
Es como si estamos retornando a un tiempo atrás. En nuestra propia manera, saludamos al espíritu de la tierra, de este territorio, a sus guardianes, a sus mayores.
In gratitude and respect, we share our unified intention for sowing the vase and humbly request permission to do so.
En gratitud y respeto, pedimos permiso para nuestra intención de sembrar la vasija y humildemente lo hacemos.
This territory has been awaiting us, and Asdrubal is our host. He carries the vase and now guides us down a cobblestone path to one of the main gathering places within this sacred city.
Este territorio nos ha estado esperando y Asdrubal es nuestro anfitrión. Él carga la vasija y ahora nos guía a través de un camino de piedras a uno de los centros de reunión dentro de esta ciudad sagrada.
We slowly and ceremoniously enter the space where the leaders and elders regularly convene to guide the future of the Arhuaco and ensure the fulfillment of their duty to care for all life.
Lentamente y ceremonialmente entramos dentro de este espacio, donde los líderes y los mayores regularmente convienen a guiar el futuro de los arhuacos y asegurarse del cumplimiento de su responsabilidad de cuidar por la vida.
This space with a dirt floor, white adobe walls, and a thatched roof faces the east, where the doorless entrance welcomes the rays of the rising sun, who, alongside the flames of a sacred central fire, allows us to see one another, the vase, and the hole that will receive it, about 3 feet to the right of the fire.
Este espacio tiene un suelo de tierra con paredes blancas y un techo de paja, donde la entrada no tiene puerta, dándole la bienvenida a los rayos del sol, quien, al lado de las llamas del fuego central, nos da la capacidad de ver nuestros rostros, la vasija y el hueco donde vamos a recibir 3 pies bajo la tierra, al lado del fuego.
Having all entered the space, we bring our attention to what shapes our motivation for this blessed burial.
Ahora que hemos entrado todos a este espacio, traemos nuestra atención a lo que forma nuestra motivación para esta siembra bendecida.
We acknowledge the forces that remind us to care for life at this time of collective crisis, emanations of division, greed, polarization, intolerance, jealousy, hate, the death of ecosystems, polluted water, and an imbalance of elemental forces leading to natural disasters worldwide, among other sources of suffering that bring us to this moment.
Reconocemos las fuerzas que nos recuerdan ahora el cuidar por la vida en este tiempo de crisis colectiva, emanaciones de división, de avaricia, de polarización, de intolerancia, de envidia, de odio, la muerte de los ecosistemas, agua desbalanceada, una falta de balance dentro de las fuerzas elementales, dirigiendo a desastres naturales alrededor de la Tierra, entre otras fuentes de sufrimiento que nos traen a este momento.
Now we bring our one-pointed focus to the healing and unification we are calling forth with this vase.
Ahora traemos nuestro enfoque de un punto singular a la sanación y a la unificación que estamos clamando con esta vasija.
Feeling with our whole being the peace, collaboration, generosity, compassion, and the regeneration of desecrated lands, the restoration of waters, and the balance of elemental forces radiating harmony across the face of Gaia, Senekun, all bringing prosperity, wisdom, and happiness.
Sintiendo con nuestro ser completo la paz, la colaboración, la generosidad, compasión y la regeneración de tierras en algún momento desagradas, la restauración de las aguas y el balance de fuerzas elementales radiando armonía, alrededor de todo el rostro de Gaia, Senecan, trayendo prosperidad, sabiduría y felicidad.
We can feel the spirit of the vase and its expansive, resonant field receiving these acknowledgments and aspirations.
Podemos sentir el espíritu de la vasija y su campo expansivo, resonante, recibiendo estos reconocimientos y aspiraciones.
Asdrubal now turns to each of us and gives us the vase to briefly hold. At this time, the sound of the bell will invite us to speak our prayers or blessings and offer any precious materials into the vase now within the space of this meditation.
Asdrubal ahora se voltea a cada uno de nosotros y nos da la vasija para sostener por un momento. Y ahora, con el sonido de la campana, nos invito a hablar nuestras oraciones y bendiciones dentro de la vasija, al igual que cualquier material precioso, ahora durante esta meditación. The circle is now open for the vase to be filled with our prayers, blessings, and precious materials. I welcome you to be succinct as we will share the translation to Asdrubal. And I welcome you as well to raise your hand, and I will call upon you. Yes, Dina.
Because I was visited by the Kogi in 1997 when I had landed in South Africa for the first time. And I was visited in a dream that was not a dream. In the old ways that such communication happened, heart to heart and mind to mind across the world. And because I was given a mandate, and because I accepted the mandate in the dream, and because I said I would give my life to it, my life became what it is now from that visitation, which was real. And so because I know that this act that we are involved in is real as the clay vase that is being put into the ground, and as real as the spirit that inhabits that vase, I offer that dream, that moment, its possibilities and its realities into the vase.
Porque fui visitada cuando primero fui a África por los Kogis en mis sueños y recibí un mandato y dije sí a ese mandato. y porque reconozco este proceso que estamos haciendo como real, tan real como la vasija misma, como el espíritu que contiene la vasija, ofrendo ese sueño, las posibilidades y las realidades que ofrecen dentro de la vasija. Karuna.
Oh, Tokashala, Wakantanka, and dear Great Spirit, thank you for the mastery that you've brought us here from the Colorado Rockies from my heart, my hearth, to your all, hearts and hearths. I ask the blessings of this family that has come forth for us to be with these ancestors in these times of healing, this great planet we live on, that we ask Kuan Yin for more compassion, that every last tear that's dropped will stand tall for the nation and for the country and for the people of the sacred tribe that's planting this vase. I ask that we add the Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sadhava Shakti, Sadhava Shakti, Sadhava Shakti, Namo Namo, Paritam Bhagavati, Paritam Bhagavati, Paritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, from Chante Itom Wagalaka we Karuna. Sadnam, may the blessings of health, happiness be our birthright, and may we rebirth in this awakening, in this awareness of this vase into this sacred Mother Earth, this Gaia. Blessings. Thank you.
Desde las montañas de Colorado ofrezco una oración tanto para la familia, tanto para la tierra, de compasión, de sanación, invocando el espíritu de la conciencia divina del femenino. Maggie and Eva.
I offer a seed from this land of Australia and bring the greetings of the beings of this land who from ancient times have held dreamings. And the seed of these dreamings go into this vase, and through the fire and through the light, link with that great mother vase, the origins of your history, and that new life is created and bring forth that truly fulfills the dreaming shared by all lands, by all peoples, through all times. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so.
Ofrezco una semilla de este territorio de Australia, conteniendo en ella los seres que cuidan estos territorios, que cuidan sueños, sueños de origen. Y así clamo la manifestación de todos los deseos de los seres originales en la faz de la tierra. Que así sea. Eva. Randall, you are still muted. There we go.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear?
yes, go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear?
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you, Randall.
Hello? It sounds like a bad connection, but my wish is, or my gift to the vase is the vision of the sacred fire entering into the vase in its etheric being, and that this fire, not as a destructive force, but as a force of transmutation, draw in to its self all the negativity and darkness present in the world from that special place where Asdrubal and his family and his people live, and that the transmutation radiate out as golden rain falling on all the people of the world, all the beings of the world, and bring nothing but blessings and life.
Invocó la presencia del fuego dentro de la vasija, no destructivo, sino transmutador, trayendo a sí mismo lo negativo y lo oscuro, tanto dentro del territorio arhuaco como de toda la faz de la tierra, transmutando y creando una lluvia de oro cayendo a todos los seres en la faz de la tierra. Cynthia.
Since I first heard the message from the heart of the world in 1990, I've carried a prayer that has become the purpose of my life, to respond to that message by carrying these holy vessels all around the planet and planting them along with our prayers and our intentions and our sacred offerings to restore balance and harmony to our relationship with Mother Earth. I thank you and your people and all that informs you for bringing us this message. And I pray that our humble effort might be a contribution to restoring that balance in these times. Everywhere I have gone with this practice, I have gathered earth from the places where the treasure vases have been planted. And I have here tonight a little bag filled with earth from 22 of those key locations. When we're done with the practice of planting these vases, there will be close to 100 locations. And we have done now, I believe, about 55. This earth I offer into the vase in the center of your beautiful village, next to the fire, that all of these locations may feed into your location and connect you, this vase, and your place into this global healing mandala, and that you may receive the global healing that you need in your land. And along with this earth, from all of these sacred places, I offer some water from the source of the Ganges in India, which water stays fresh for the longest of time, to water in these prayers into your land. With all of our love carried through our imagination of light flowing around the planet, embracing Mother Earth with all of our love and caring. May it be so.
Desde que recibí el mensaje del corazón del mundo, antes de recibir esta práctica, me guió a tomar la decisión de llevarla a cabo. Por estos últimas décadas, a través de las siembras de estas vasijas, ha continuado siendo un mandato al cual le sirvo. Que estas vasijas traigan sanación y protección global. Y de esta manera traigo tierra de 22 de las locaciones claves donde han sido sepultadas diferentes vasijas en la red, que a este momento son 55 en total. Que estas tierras lleguen a la vasija y que los conecten a ustedes con el resto de las locaciones, para que sean ustedes recibiendo la sanación global que necesitan. Y que así esta vasija sea acompañando al resto de la red de vasijas, abrazando a la Madre Tierra en amor. Julian?
Yeah, so I just join with us all in sending deep love and healing and the prayer for the right relationship to take root again and to flourish in this region, the center of the world, and that the beauty and the connection and the love and the respect and the sacred balance return. And I'd like to offer some music from this land, the Yidaki, and it's made of quartz. It's a hollow quartz, like the bead, and it's covered in the gold. So I just ask that the creator of all that is support all of these prayers, and the sound of this, they say this is like the sound of Mother Earth to strengthen all the prayers. Thank you.
Mi oración es para traer amor profundo, paz y unidad, una correspondencia balanceada en todas nuestras relaciones desde el centro del mundo y más allá. También me gustaría compartir sonidos de esta tierra con un instrumento que es hecho de cuarzo, que tiene una piel de oro para profundizar las oraciones. Olivia?
Thank you, Asdrubal, and your mother and father for leading us into the heart of the world, into your village, into your home, to the exact spot where your vase is being buried. I want to offer the creative power of fire to the vase and our human creativity in the service of goodness and healing and restoring balance to the earth. And to acknowledge our awareness that our creativity comes out of the mystery, and that this vase in particular is being buried in the mystery, and that transmission connects us with great power to the mystery and to the creativity of all life. May it be so.
Asdrubal, al padre y a la madre de Asdrubal, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros y compartir su palabra. A la vasija ofrendo el poder creativo del fuego, el poder creativo dentro nosotros los humanos para co-crear y traer balance y restauración a la tierra, reconociendo que esta vasija está siendo sembrada en el gran misterio de donde surge el poder de la creatividad. Liza Jane.
I offer into this vase at the heart of the world the care of the pollen of the golden heart of the grandmothers, for the healing and well-being of Asdrubal and his family, for the unity, for the restoration of unity of his people, for peace and joy, love and light, for the waters and all beings on this beautiful blue-green planet, pollinating the restoration of wholeness in the three times. Alalaho.
Ofrezco dentro de la vasija el polen del corazón de oro de las abuelas, así pidiendo sanación dentro de la familia de Asdrubal, tanto restauración de la tierra completa, así clamando por el polen de la restauración de la vida en los tres tiempos. Ellen?
This is really echoing.
Ellen, if you have another Apple device near you, it needs to be shut off. And then you can unmute yourself and try again.
So I want to offer into the vase a drop of my blood. It's type O negative, the universal donor. I'll put it by the redwood tree in my backyard tomorrow. And I want to ask to be put into the vase miracles, miracles of love, healing, restoration, thriving life, and peace. Thank you.
Dentro de la vasija ofrendo una gota de mi sangre, pues soy una Dora universal. Con esta sangre también pido milagros, milagros de amor, de paz, de restauración. Diana.
Thank you. I would like to offer into the vase a blessing of sacred tobacco smoke. And my prayer with this pipe, which is a black jaguar, is a prayer for the animals, particularly for the restoration and healing of the relationship between humans and other animals on this planet. I offer an apology for all the species that we have killed off, and I ask for the miracle of restoration of all life of animals, of all animals on this planet to thrive in all their beauty and holiness.
Ofrezco dentro de la vasija un soplo de humo de tabaco y de esa manera, mostrando esta pipa de jaguar, también clamo la restauración de nuestra relación con los animales para que puedan vivir, manifestarse en una manera plena. Marita.
I would like to offer to the vase these leaves from the land where the last Earth Treasure vase was buried just 2 weeks ago, as a special welcome to this vase. And I'd like to offer my prayer that unity rise up from the navel of Gaia and spread through the veins of the mandala and touch everyone here in the circle tonight and all beings on the planet. May it be so.
Ofrezco estas hojas que vienen de la siembra reciente de una vasija para darle la bienvenida a esta vasija. Así también clamo una restauración desde el centro, desde el ombligo de la tierra, más allá. Laurelyn.
I say good evening and Chimagwich, big thanks to all who are here and to Asdrubal and his family for helping us to connect in this beautiful way, in this powerful way tonight. And I would like to offer the 6 true syllables that help to manifest things from the spiritual world into the material world so that all of our objects that we work with can be infused with that which gives it the vibration of a physical form of prayer, so that all that we visualize and pray about, we see come into this dimension. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Thank you.
Ofrezco las 6 sílabas que dan fuerza a lo espiritual, manifestándolo en material, dándole fuerza a todos los instrumentos que practicamos, que usamos en nuestro camino. And Ray.
I'd like to offer the prayer for courage for each of us in our thought each day, to have the courage to wage peace, and together that we carry the fire for peace in our heart.
Ofrezco dentro de la vasija coraje. Coraje para poder ofrendar paz y traer el fuego de la paz. Thank you all. With the completion of these generous offerings and the sound of the bell, at this time we will return to bring our awareness into the closing of the meditation and the fulfillment of the planting of the vase.
Taking a deep, slow in-breath and a deep, slow out-breath, we see Asdrubal in the center of our circle, lit now by the full rays of the morning sun and the central fire. holding the vase in his hands.
Tomando una inhalación profunda y una exhalación. Vemos a Asdrubal en el centro de nuestro círculo, brillando con las luces, los rayos de un nuevo amanecer y del fuego central, sosteniendo la vasija en sus manos.
He proceeds to place it in a traditional Arhuaco cotton mochila bag, and then places it in the hole and begins to bury it.
Él continúa a poner la vasija dentro de una mochila, poniéndola dentro del hueco y comenzando a sepultarla.
While he does so, we see the vase shining with blazing brilliance, beginning to be embraced by Mother Gaia.
Mientras él continúa a sepultar la vasija, vemos la vasija brillando, comenzando a ser recibida y abrazada por Senecan.
The last mound of earth is now placed atop this most precious offering.
El último montoncito de tierra es puesto encima de esta ofrenda preciosa.
And now we imagine that all that is needed to relieve the suffering of the earth can be seen as light radiating out from this earth treasure vase.
Y ahora vemos que todo lo que es necesario para traer sanación al sufrimiento de la tierra puede ser visto como luz radiando desde esta vasija tesoro de la tierra,
illuminating past the walls of this space, seeping into the very fabric of the land that makes up the capital of the Arhuaco.
Viendo esta iluminación más allá de las paredes de este espacio, entrando al fábrico de la tierra que compone la capital del pueblo arhuaco.
And from there, we see it spreading throughout Colombia to all of South America and around the whole planet in every direction.
Y de ahí vemos la luz esparcirse alrededor de toda Colombia, a Suramérica y al resto del planeta en cada dirección.
Imagine this healing light flowing out from the Arhuaco Vase, filling the whole global Earth Treasure Vase Mandala with the powerful energies of our love and caring.
Nos imaginamos esta luz sanadora saliendo de la vasija arhuaca, llenando la mandala de las vasijas tesoros de la tierra con las poderosas energías de nuestro amor y cuidado.
See this healing force traveling through the song lines and the meridians of the earth, flowing into each location on the global mandala.
Veamos esta fuerza sanadora atravesando las líneas meridianas de la tierra, entrando a cada locación de la mandala, la red global.
This vase joins 4 vases in South America, 5 vases in Africa, 4 vases in Europe, 25 vases in North America, 11 vases in Asia, 4 vases in Australia, and a vase in Antarctica, for a total of 55 earth treasure vases that have been planted in the body of Gaia herself.
Esta vasija acompaña a 4 vasijas en Sudamérica, 5 vasijas en África, 4 vasijas en Europa, 25 vasijas en América del Norte, 11 vasijas en Asia, 4 vasijas en Australia y una vasija en Antártica, para un total de 55 vasijas tesoro de la tierra que han sido sembradas dentro del cuerpo de Senecan.
And these in turn activate an additional 40 vases that are awaiting their destinations within the global healing mandala of Mother Gaia, for a total of 95 vases composing the Earth Treasure Vase Mandala.
Y estas en turno activan unas adicionales 40 vasijas que están esperando sus destinaciones dentro de la mandala global de sanación para Senecan, para un total de 95 vasijas componiendo la mandala de vasijas tesoro de la tierra.
See the mandala like a web of light embracing the whole planet. Feel the light flowing back and forth like waves from your heart to the Arhuaco Vase and to all the earth treasure vases.
Veamos la red de mandala como una red de luz abrazando a la tierra completa, sintiendo la luz fluyendo desde nuestro corazón como olas a la vasija arhuaca, a todas las vasijas tesoros de la tierra.
Energizing them and adding vitality and brilliance to the light that is then flowing out of all the earth treasure vases in every direction.
Dándoles energía y ofreciéndoles vitalidad y luminosidad que sale de todas las vasijas tesoros de la tierra en cada dirección.
Now, imagine this light flowing into your own location, your special spot in nature.
Ahora imagina esta luz entrando a tu propia locación, tu lugar especial en la naturaleza.
And feel the collective spiritual intelligence of the entire global Earth Treasure Vase Mandala activating your node on the global healing mandala and entering you as a holy vessel.
Y siente la inteligencia espiritual colectiva de la completa mandala de vasijas tesoro de la tierra activando tu nodo, la mandala global de sanación, y entrando a ti como una vasija sagrada.
Finally, please focus your concentration one-pointedly on bringing healing and protection to the whole earth for all time.
Y finalmente, traigamos nuestro enfoque, nuestra concentración a un singular punto para traer sanación y protección a toda la tierra por todos los tiempos.
See the healing and protection radiating out from all of the vases around the earth in waves of light, flowing back and forth endlessly.
Veamos la sanación y la protección radiando todas las vasijas alrededor de la tierra en olas de luz, fluyendo de aquí para allá, sin fin.
And imagine that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored.
E imaginémonos que la sanación se ha cumplido y que la vitalidad de la tierra se ha restaurado completamente.
For as long as the earth remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, may these earth treasure vases too remain to dispel the miseries of the world.
Hasta que la tierra permanezca, hasta que todos los seres sintientes permanezcan. Que estas vasijas, tesoros de la tierra, también permanezcan para disipar las miserias del mundo.
Through the merits of this practice, may all beings live in peace and harmony.
A través de los méritos de esta práctica, que todos los seres vivan en paz y en armonía.
May there be no more war or conflict, and may all hearts be filled with compassion.
Que cese la guerra y el conflicto, y que todos los corazones sean llenos de compasión.
Thank you, Stephen and Rasul. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers and offerings and for your generosity. Thank you, Asdrubal and sus padres, for the blessing of this moment, being together in this way. May all of the prayers that have been invoked be realized. May the miracle of life on earth continue to be fulfilled over and over, renewing itself day by day, moon by moon. Thank you all for staying beyond our usual closing time to allow for this ceremony to be completed. I think we have almost raised $1,500. Maybe a few $100s more to go, but we've done it. And there is the endless flow of goodness radiating out into the world from our blessed time together. So in closing, I know it's getting late, but it just feels right to ask Asdrubal if he would like to offer any closing comments.
Cynthia ha compartido agradecimientos y claras aspiraciones para el cumplimiento de todas las oraciones e intenciones que hemos llevado a cabo. También te agradece a ti, a tu familia, a tu padre y a tu madre por estar aquí, Asdrubal, y te da un espacio para compartir cualquier palabra que quisieran ofrecer para cerrar nuestro tiempo juntos.
Bueno, dale infinitamente las gracias por enfocar la comunidad, la familia global de Mandala hacia las Sierras Nevadas y hacernos compañía a través de esta invocación de energía para sembrar o para reactivar esta alianza espiritual para ir haciendo posible la continuidad de la vida tan importante. Y también darle las gracias a las 4 direcciones, el corazón del cielo, el corazón de la Madre Tierras y a todos nosotros. Quizá no alcanzamos a agradecer tantas bendiciones que se trajeron a través de las palabras con el deseo de que el pueblo se sane, se restablezca y vuelva a encender la luz que tanto necesita la humanidad. Entonces, gracias por esa compañía tan bonitas desde el lugar que cada uno sea en palabra, en silencios, pero hicieron posible para que esto se continúe. Entonces acá pues estamos agradecidos también. Le doy gracias a Cynthia, que siempre ha estado pendiente por esta misión tan importante. Rasul por traducir y a todo lo que pusieron la palabra, a todo lo que llegaron pendientes para saber cómo se iba a dar esta siembra virtual. También le doy gracias a mis padres, a mi mamá, a mi familia que me hicieron compañía en esta luna llenas. Quizá no alcanzamos a entender todo lo que estamos haciendo, pero en el tiempo pues nos daremos cuenta tan importante oficio que estamos haciendo en este momento. Entonces, solamente darle las gracias infinitamente nuevamente. Hasta ahí dejo la palabra. Y de igual parte de mi mamá también le manda infinitos agradecimientos por todas estas oraciones que hoy se hace siembras nosotros. Gracias.
Asdrubal shares profound gratitude for all of us coming together to fulfill this common intention. He gives thanks to his parents. He shares that we might not entirely understand through our minds what we have just completed, yet time will tell the results of what we have just done. And he continues to share infinite gratitude, particularly to Cynthia as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Asdrubal. It's so wonderful to be together. May our dreams speak to us tonight and every night. May we be awakened, be quickened and awakened from this sharing tonight to carry on in spite of the craziness of this world, to remember and to cultivate and to strengthen our connection to Mother Earth and to each other for the benefit of all beings, for life, for the continuation, the beautiful continuation, the miraculous continuation. And may we each do our own little part to sustain the whole. Once again, thank you so very much, everyone, for your generosity, your presence, your commitment, your engagement in this practice of sacred activism, knowing that the ripples do go out. They do make a difference. We are, right now, making that difference, planting these seeds. So much more will flow from this now. And we can find each other in our Mandala community where we can share more too after this is over. We'll post the comments from the chat and the recording, and all of you will get the recording also from the email. But I'm feeling such a wish, another prayer to transcribe some of what was said tonight from Asdrubal and his family, so that we can remember the beauty of what has been shared. So the night is late, the moon is out, and maybe the sun is out for some of you in other parts of the world, but let us truly celebrate this beautiful moment. And Asdrubal will be in touch with you we will continue to cultivate this connection and offer you our best wishes as you go forth from here.
Asdrubal, estaremos en contacto contigo y te deseamos lo mejor para tu continuación. Gracias por este tiempo y continuaremos en conexión.
Igual Duni.
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 Okay. Dina, thank you so much for your presence amongst us, for your prayers and your beautiful intentions. It's an honor to have you with us. Thank you, everybody, once again. Good night.